Breaking news now on that massive leak of classified Defense Department documents. Two law enforcement officials have confirmed to NBC News the identity of the suspected leaker. Let's get right to NBC News Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kuby. She's been following this closely. Courtney, what do we know about this suspected leaker?
So he's a 21-year-old Air National Guardsman out of Massachusetts. So we don't know a whole lot yet, candidly, other than the fact that these documents appear to have been leaked or provided on this Discord system for a matter of years now. At 21 years old, that means that he would have had access to top secret classified documents since he was potentially 19 years old, which may be surprising to people. But I think as we're starting to get a sense of what exactly happened here, what unfolded with the leak of these documents, one big takeaway that I am getting out of this is that it shows the sheer scope of how far some of these classified documents go. Now, we know there's at least one intelligence branch that's based out of, it's a Massachusetts Guard unit that's based out at Cape Cod. It's called Otis National Guard Base. We don't know for sure if that's where he was assigned, but if that is the case, if that's where he was assigned, then it would make sense that he would potentially have access to that. Now, all that being said, we've been asking these questions. The Pentagon briefing is ongoing right now. It should be wrapping up pretty soon, actually. But we've been asking these exact questions ever since we got an idea that someone was about to be arrested and may even have been arrested at this point. We're trying to confirm that right now. The Pentagon is not saying anything. They are pushing all of the questions about this to DOJ. They are Department of Justice. They're saying that this continues to be under investigation. One little piece of information that we do now know, according to Brigadier General Pat Ryder, who's the press secretary at the Pentagon, is that based off of these disclosures, the fact that they now know that a number of documents were put on this Discord database, based off of that, the Pentagon is continuing to review now who gets the distribution of who gets these kinds of documents, and they may be limiting some of those distributions. Here's exactly how General Ryder explained it at the press briefing just moments ago.
We continue to review a variety of factors as it relates to safeguarding classified materials. This includes examining and updating distribution lists, assessing how and where intelligence products are shared, and a variety of other steps. I would say, though, that it is important to understand that we do have stringent guidelines in place for safeguarding classified and sensitive information.
But one of those guidelines is that if there is some classified information, you're only supposed to be able to access it if it's on a need-to-know basis. What this case demonstrates is that even if that is the rule or the policy, this need-to-know basis, clearly, there are cases where individuals are able to access information that they don't necessarily need on a need-to-know basis. And in this case, it appears that he was even able to print them out. So this is unfolding very rapidly, but that's what we know for right now, Kate.
Yeah, and also able to spread this for a long time before anyone really seemed to notice. So many questions. Courtney Kuby, Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.